Hello, and welcome to What Are the Odds? In today's video, we will discuss the likelihood that the events are to be repeated in Time Trap. Time Trap follows a group of 2 teaching assistants and 3 others searching for Professor Hopper, who's searching for his own family, who were lost in search of the Fountain of Youth. The moment they leave to go on their hiking misadventure and enter the time trap we'll consider to be the inciting incident. While Furby stays behind, Taylor, Jackie, Kara, and Veeves enter the cave. Hopper, meanwhile, is entering through another way. As he walks in, sunlight whips on and off behind him. Event number 1, Hopper leaves the cave and returns during the night. He returns to his vehicle covered in foliage. Hopper enters the cave once again to look for Taylor and Jackie. Meanwhile, the foursome finishes descending the cliff face. They hear a scream. When Jackie tries to go back the way they came, the rope snaps. They believe Furby cut the rope. Taylor continues to try to reach Furby from the walkie-talkie. Leaving the injured Jackie, they venture further. They find another opening and can see the sky change in seconds. Kara tells Taylor and Veeves to leave the area as Jackie crawls in. It turns out Kara discovered Furby, who is fatally wounded. They find his camera and look back at the footage to find out that Furby had been up there for days and went into the cave to find Hopper's keys. Taylor figures the weird light is from the cycle of days and nights, but immediately forgets. Kara climbs out. When she leaves the cave, she finds the landscape completely changed and the rope is missing. When she finds a massive sandstorm is headed her way and can't activate the GPS beacon, she returns. Event number 2, Furby entering. Their footage doesn't line up. They watch the rest of Furby's footage and find out he survived his fall and was killed by something or someone. When they rediscover entire years are actually passing, a large ladder spawns in from the sky. Kara climbs up, but someone is climbing down. It's a man from the future. A caveman comes in and attacks the man from the future. Event number 3, the future man. The foursome runs away and find a fire along with Hopper's mom and dad who've been dead for 40 years. They get the attention of a bunch of cavemen and Taylor fights them off. Kara finds Taylor dead and the future man walks in and drags Taylor into a small pool of water. A caveman walks in and the future man fights him off. The future man is out of time and dies. A green light shines in through the opening. Taylor finds Hopper's bag and wants to go after him through another tunnel. He finds Hopper on the ground with a wound in his gut. He's been stabbed. Just beyond, they find another level of the time trap that is much slower, where a large battle is being fought. The whole cave is a system of gears designed to protect the Fountain of Youth. Each layer is a different speed than the last. They dump Furby in the pool. Hopper fires off several shots at the lingering cave dwellers. The group light the cave on fire and leave with the future man's ladder and climb out. Kara finds a barrier of water is at the top and is pulled upwards. She is pulled through a tube. The other 3 are all pulled out of the cave by large autonomous cables. Furby and Hopper are saved as well, along with Hopper's family. This film's final event is that everyone escapes the cave, rescued by a future civilization. Factors include Hopper re-entering, Furby entering, and the future man entering. As for the reasons, if Hopper or Furby don't enter the cave system, they can't be stuck in the cave in the first place. The future man, I can only assume, gets the attention of the people in the future due to his absence during his mission. This cave operates like multiple differing splits would on the time gradient. Each layer is much slower than the last, some in the sense that an entire year passes outside while only a second passes inside. Despite this information becoming quite obvious, nearly every character acts dumb and pretends like previously established information is new. Now it's time to calculate the odds. First, Hopper re-entering. For Hopper to re-enter, a few things need to happen. He has to blatantly disregard all the troubling signs of the cave and its effects, and willingly re-enter the cave despite all of that. Therefore, the odds he re-enters becomes a matter of a bunch of 1/2s. The odds he ignores the man who's been in the same spot for a day, clearly stuck in time, 1/2. the odds he ignores the fact that in a matter of seconds, day has turned to night, and the once clear land has turned into a tree factory. 2 1/2s to equal 1/4. Then he has to decide to go back in the cave where he knows for a fact several people have gone missing. 1/2. Instead of calling for help or literally anything else. Section total, a conservative 1/16. Furby entering. Furby also had a few choices on his hands. He assumed his friends were dead and that his best plan was to go into the same cave that, in his mind, ended their lives. Not only that, his goal is to retrieve the keys off what he assumes to be the corpse of Hopper, someone 4 people much more experienced and stupid have apparently failed to do. You know what? Never mind, in that case Furby may stand a chance after all. However, there are many things problematic with this event. First of all, Furby should have been left with some means of contacting literally anyone outside the fearsomely stupid foursome. What exactly was their plan if they got stuck in the cave? As we saw in the film, the GPS beacon didn't work inside. Second, they should have never lied about where they were headed. If they wanted to be secretive about their destination before they got there, they should have at least sent off a parting text or something, like, "Hey Dad, we're actually at this other location to kill Furby. Bye." Third, they left Furby all alone by himself for an allotted amount of time they couldn't predict and didn't sufficiently prepare for anyways. Fourth, they didn't even establish if the comms, the walkie-talkies, were working until it was too late. Fifth, like Hopper before and after them, they didn't think to call anyone when someone clearly went missing. I'll just ignore all these blatant problems and reluctantly assign a 1/2. He enters the cave. Sadly, all their stupidity are manufactured initial conditions. Either that or the causality ratio is all wonky and events are occurring at random. The odds the future man enters? The future man entering only matters if we assume the attention of the future civilization would be grabbed if the future man fails to return back from his mission. Since they sent no backup, all assume the future man went rogue or off mission when he entered the cave. Also, all assume their attention was grabbed once the foursome used the ladder. For these odds, we'll only examine the following: the chances he finds the cave. Once he gets in the cave, he either helps the group out or gets killed and they will use his ladder. We'll say the caves take up roughly 0.1 kilometer squared amount of area on the Earth's surface. The Earth has a surface area of 510,064,472 kilometers squared. Therefore, the odds he finds, or more accurately, ends up in the 0.1 kilometer square area of land with this cave system will be 1/51,644,720. Multiplying the odds, we get 1/16 times 1/2 times 1/51,644,720 to get 1/163,220,631,720. Well, now we know. If you were to travel to a random split with the exact same necessary initial conditions, the likelihood that you'd see these same events transpire and the successful outcome of the final event is 0.0000000000061%.